Welcome back to the shop, everybody. It's a really exciting day, not just for me, for some of you guys as well. This right here is a 2x72 Northridge belt grinder. The guys over at Northridge Tools make some of the most awesome belt grinders you've ever seen in your life. I mean, they are literally top tier. But as all you guys know, top end belt grinders can be very expensive. This is a bolt together kit and it is affordable. It's like 450 bucks. This is really cool. Let's just get to it. Okay, we got the package. I'm all ready to open it up, but I need to put gloves on, and I'm gonna tell you why. So this is created by gentlemen who are in the industry. This is not a mega corporation that's just pounding these things out. They're not made in China. These are manufactured here in the States, and it's made by guys who have attention to detail, that care so much about what goes into it that they take extra steps to make the product better. And one thing that they did is they pickled it. They removed every bit of mill scale on here. So this is clean metal, right? Really clean metal, ready to paint. Ah, nice aluminum. So what can happen is this thing couldn't rust. Now you can see it does look like they do have a little bit of oil on it to protect it. Now that I've got everything on the table, I'm gonna hit it with some 336 from CRC. And this is just going to ensure that that super clean pickled metal has no mill scale on it, that we don't get any rust, because I'm not going directly to paint for this, okay? I'm going to assemble it first and throw it together just to make sure that everything lines up. Well, that didn't take long at all, guys. I didn't even get to finish a beer. So 13 minutes, I timed it. When I was building my 2x72 grinder, which took considerably more time than this, I used Jeremy's design, Jeremy Schmidt, and he built his really, really strong so that it would avoid chatter. And I use, cheaper grinders all the time, and I haven't really experienced any of that. I don't think that this one is going to, but I'm going to give you guys like a really solid, honest review after we're done. I'm going to try to rip the belts off this thing by just shoving half-inch steel into it. We'll see what happens. And of course, that's coming up in about 5 minutes, so just hold on, you'll see it. So everybody has their different opinions on tools, and I think it's very important that we understand where the tools we purchase fit in our lineup and why something like this is so good. There are a lot of guys out there that are home gamers like me, like I'm not really a knife maker. That's not to say I can't make a knife. I make knives all the time. I do a lot of fabrication, and that's where this tool fits into my budget. So for Northridge Tools to come out with a budget line from a business sense, it really doesn't make sense, because this is literally taking orders away from guys that are saving up for their bigger machines. Some people say, well, they want to make money. They want to get all sides of the market. Well, that's not the case. There's no money in this. If you go out and you price what it's going to take you, just like I did, to create your own belt grinder, you're going to spend about $150 in steel. You're going to spend about, I don't know, $120 to $190 in pulleys, another 10 or 15 bucks in hardware. And then you're going to have to make stuff or come up with a solution for all of your adjustments and all that. Like, you got to do a lot of engineering. Some of us have more time than money, so I attempted to build a high-end belt grinder. I really like Jeremy Schmidt's design, so I built my own. I can tell you it was a very complicated build. It took me, I don't know, we had a lot of stuff going on. I would say probably 3 days total to build the unit. And then, no joke, not kidding, to get it to track right, I spent another 2 days just on that alone, just on getting it to track proper. And with my steel, my hardware, my Nordlocks, everything that I put in it, that I wanted to put into it, it came out at about the same price as this kit. Is it better than the kit? Is it more rigid? Well, I would say it's definitely more rigid. Like you could probably, like, if you dropped it on the floor, it wouldn't bend as much. That's what I would say. But does that transfer into the belt? Does that transfer into the actual act of grinding? Absolutely not. This grinds just as good, just as smooth, no chatter, and it's $500. $500. That's how much I spent on the other one. Plus, you got to figure as a body tech, I'd pull about $80 an hour. So $80 an hour times 4 days of my time building it, and I was employed at the time I built it. That's a lot. This thing took me 13 minutes to assemble the first time. I was planning on decking this out, like doing a crazy paint scheme on it and just making, like, I don't know, making it super crazy. But I didn't think that that's what this tool was about. This tool is going to be a workhorse. In its simplicity, it just works really well to do the job that is required. It's got an adjustable platen. You can put a glass platen on it. If you want it to tilt, all you have to do is mount this to something that tilts. Just get a couple pieces of angle iron and make a tilting base for this. I mean, it's not rocket science. The whole thing will tilt. The other thing about this is it's completely upgradable. If you need a small wheel set, you can get that as well. So I'm not a Ford guy, I'm not a Chevy guy. I've never been that guy that's because this is mine that I think it's the best in the world. That's not how it works with me. And that's not why I'm talking about this for you guys. This is a high quality tool, and it's gonna drop the barrier of entry to knife making so fast for so many guys out there. You're just learning, you got a couple blades, you're using a 1x30 Harbor Freight belt grinder, you're chewing through metal and finally get to a point where you can sell 2 or 3 knives for $200 a piece, then you're in. You've just upped your game. And if you didn't know that that's what you're supposed to be doing, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You don't just spend money freely to go out and get the tools you need. You use the tools you have to make the money that you need to buy the tools you need to make the money to live. And then eventually what happens is you end up with a shop like this, and you end up you know, with all the tools you need to do whatever it is that you want. When all is said and done, I think the value of this tool, I think you're getting a lot more than what you pay for. This is all laser cut, everything is computer controlled. The machines that build this and the guys who program them, they're smart. And they know what they're doing, and they've been building belt grinders for a long time. $475 plus your internet tax, so right in the $500 mark. $600, $700, $800. $800 total out the door, unless you already have a motor, which anything with a C-face will mount right up to this thing. If you just need speed, just get a $50 to $100 3600 RPM motor and go to work, man. Get a 2 horsepower. So for all the new knife makers out there, the guys that have been looking for an inexpensive entry to market, this is it. This is made for you by a company that's not trying to gouge you on price. I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can go directly to this. I don't know if there's photos up, and it also says coming soon on the website. Guys, these are available today. They are available today. So just call the guys over at Northridge Tools. I'll put a phone number down there as well. It's probably your best bet. They'll take your order, and they'll get it shipped out to you. I'm so happy that this tool exists, and I hope that it helps some of you guys out. This is a Kalamazoo. It's a great little grinder. It's, you know, it's pretty basic. They've been around for a long time. I like it a lot. It has a 1/2 horsepower motor, and this one's a 3600 RPM. The motor actually will bolt directly up to the face of the other one, so that's kind of cool. But I like this guy. It's pretty tough. But when you seriously look at that, and then you look at this, and you realize they're the same price, like with the exception of the motor, there's another $300 right there. Yeah, look at how much you're getting, how much versatility you're getting as well. You got to do a lot to this if you're using it for knife grinding. Like, you got to rebuild that platen. That'll never work for grinding a knife. Whereas this platen is right up to the edge, man, and fully adjustable too. You can slide it any way you want. This right here is actually so that you can upgrade to a full tool arm, right? This is supposed to bolt under here. I finally saw a picture of this. So this actually bolts in right here. That gives you full use of your platen. But I think I'm just going to leave this here because I kind of like it. You can see it doesn't really line up all the way, but I'm okay with that. It actually locks into place. You can take it up. You can tilt it down, you can get all your angles in there, or you can buy the tool arm that slides in there. And I'll probably, yeah, I'm going to pick that tool arm up, so I'll show you guys that as soon as I get it. Say Kalamazoo 36 grit belt, it's a 1/2 horsepower, and obviously you're going to see the difference between these two right now. No comparison. That run was 80 grit paper. Well, hopefully that helps someone out there. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next round. Oh! Good of the Land Fest. Don't miss the second annual Good of the Land Fest on October 26, 2019. Brought to you by Evaporust. Get your tickets now at thegoodoftheland.com or gotlfest.com.